fun childhood, but I definitely recall me and my brothers playing Ding Dong Ditch, all right? But back in my day, when we played Ding Dong Ditch, it simply meant you knock on the door and you run as fast as you can so that the person is like, huh, where'd that come from, okay? Now, back then, people weren't so gun happy. We didn't have to worry about getting shot and all that good stuff. They knew that the kids around the neighborhood played these type of games. But clearly today we are in a totally different climate. So let's go ahead and get into this story fresh out of Virginia, all right? A Virginia homeowner is charged with murder after shooting a high school teen during attempted break-in, sheriff says. Now, this is piquing my curiosity because there's a difference between knocking on a door and running and actually trying to break into somebody's home, all right? Now, the two surviving teens said that they were filming a TikTok ding dong ditch prank. Now, a lot of these kids these days, I do not like that they allow their desire to go viral on these platforms to supersede their judgment. They have poor judgment today, all right? And that's why the person is no longer here. A Virginia man was charged with murder after authorities say he shot a high school teen who he believed was trying to break into his house, though the surviving teens claimed they were filming a ding-dong ditch prank for TikTok, all right? Tyler Chase Butler, 27 years old, was charged with second-degree murder in the shooting death of 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr., all right? Butler also faces charges of malicious wounding and 2 counts of use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. Seems like he's not supposed to have a firearm at all. Legal experts told Fox News Digital that the case will rest on whether Butler used the right amount of force and if he reasonably believed his life was in imminent danger. Now, y'all, these laws are different. I found out that if somebody was to break into my home, I can't just do them in any way I want to do them, especially if they are trying to get away. I have to legally allow them to get away out my house. If they are running away and not posing a threat to me, I cannot just unload on them, all right? That is the law. So the way a lot of these laws work is you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. They kind of want you to get your butt beat up a little bit before you defend yourself in order for it to clear as a self-defense case. I don't know. The individual facts are really going to shed light on, are the charges against Mr. Butler valid or unjust? Jessica Latingham, a federal litigator and criminal defense attorney, said, all right, adding that the charges would make sense if the teens were outside his home where they are less likely to be perceived as a threat, all right? So if they were outside of his home, she's basically saying, yes, these charges are appropriate because they were not seen as a threat. That's what she's saying, y'all. That's what she's saying. Now, this is the man here, Tyler Chase Butler, who is charged with the murder of that 18-year-old teen. Deputies responded at around 3 a.m., y'all. 3 a.m. Why are y'all playing Ding Dong Ditch at 3 a.m.? That is stupid, all right? Again, these teens have poor judgment skills and their desire to go viral on social media is outdoing their common sense, all right? At 3 a.m., anybody is going to be triggered and think that something fishy is going on. They start hearing bangs and kicks and ducks against their home. I know for me, at 3 a.m., it is quiet, it is peaceful in this area on my street. So if I hear somebody hitting at my door, don't do it. Just don't do it, all right? I'm not all the way there. Don't do it. And then my husband is not all the way there. He's a, combat veteran. We're not all the way there. Don't do it, all right? Now, again, deputies responded at around 3 a.m. Saturday to a call for a residential burglary in progress, all right? So when he called, he believed that his home was getting broken into, where a resident had fired shots and found Bosworth and another teen with gunshot wounds. The sheriff's office said a third teen was found unharmed, all right? Bosworth died of his injuries in the hospital while the other injured teen was treated for minor injuries and released. Both surviving teens are juveniles and were not named publicly. I'm sure this taught them a very hard lesson, a lesson that I wish they did not have to learn. But again, you guys, stop allowing your desire to go viral on social media to be, what clouds your mind. It clouds your judgment, okay? You don't exercise good, fair judgment. At 3 a.m., people are not down for your TikTok pranks, okay? When it comes to their home, like my husband said, your home is supposed to be a place where you feel safe, all right? Your sanctuary. That don't make me feel safe, people beating around my home, all right? Now, we will still have to follow this story to get even more details, but I'm going to continue in this article, okay? The surviving teens told investigators they were recording themselves doing a ding-dong ditch as part of a TikTok challenge, all right? Stupid, all right? That's teen brains for you. No, I can't say that because as a teen, I wasn't this stupid, all right? I was not this stupid, but back then, there weren't all these social media sites either, all right? I think Facebook was just now coming out. Not even out just yet, all right? Now, one of Butler's neighbors shared home surveillance footage with the outlet that shows the three teens going up to Butler's home and not only ringing the doorbell, but banging, kicking, and slamming on a garage door. Do you see what I mean? So these teens knew exactly what they were trying to do. They were trying to make their TikTok prank a little bit more spicy, draw people in a little more when they uploaded it, but they didn't realize that this would result in the end of one of them losing their life, okay? So they did not do what we did back in the day. We simply went up to your home, rung your doorbell, and took off and ran fast as we can because we found it funny, okay? Kids don't think all together. We find the weirdest things funny, all right? So that's what we did. But no, they didn't do that. They took it a step further. Not only did they ring the doorbell, but they started banging, kicking, and slamming on his garage door. So I want you to put yourself in his mind. You are at home, you're sleeping, you're chilling, maybe you're just vibing. It's 3 a.m., okay? Some people are awake at 3 a.m., but they kind of vibing out, right? They sinking out. So you're chilling, and all of a sudden you start hearing bangs and kicks and slams on your garage door. Some people not all the way together. All right, the first thought wasn't, oh, it's probably some teens playing a prank, playing a ding-dong dish prank. Who allows that to be the first thought that comes through their mind? No, your first thought is, somebody's trying to get in here. I'm about to go protect myself, protect my home. And if he had children or a wife, that's even more incentive for him to be on guard with things like that, okay? I'm thankful that his neighbors had surveillance footage because they are trying to nail this man to the cross when he should not be doing any time for this, okay? All right. Jamie E. Wright, a Los Angeles trial attorney and founder of the Wright Law Firm, told Fox News Digital that stand your ground or castle doctrine laws vary in each state, which is true, though mostly don't give a blanket permission to use lethal force simply to protect property. So he's basically saying, while stand your law varies in each state, the commonality of the stand your ground law does not permit you to use lethal force when you're protecting property. Now, if it's you protecting yourself because you feel like your life is in harm, then there may be a loophole there because he may have felt that his life was in harm. And that's why he did what he done. Who knows? All right. Based on what's being reported, shooting at teenagers involved a prank. Even one as reckless as a late night ding-dong dish, 3 a.m., you guys, is unlikely to meet that legal standard, so they're probably going to nail him to the cross. Social media challenges like this can certainly escalate tensions and lead to tragic misunderstandings, but they don't typically create a legal justification for deadly self-defense, all right? So we don't know how this is going to go, all right? Now, Madeline Somerville, a national trial attorney and legal analyst, told Fox News Digital that castle doctrine laws allow for the use of deadly force to prevent an aggressor from entering your home if the homeowner truly believes their life is in danger. So they have to ask themselves, did Mr. Butler really feel that his life was in danger? I think so. That's why he got his gun and shot. I don't think if he knew for sure that these teens were actually just playing a prank on his home that he would have retrieved his weapon and fired. I don't think he's that grueling, right? Who thinks like that? But again, it's 2025. Somebody banging, knocking, kicking on my door. I'm not instantly thinking, oh, it's just some kids probably doing a TikTok prank. No, it's 3 a.m. What is going on? I'm in defense mode, okay? I have people to protect around me and myself to. And the applicability of the castle doctrine in this case will rest upon whether the defendant truly believed he was in imminent danger of bodily harm or death, okay? And who's the only person that can determine that? Himself, okay? If he said that he felt that his life was in danger, then it is a justifiable shooting, all right? It's just as simple as that. Now, Bosworth was a multi-sport athlete at this high school. Okay, I'm not even going to try that word. His classmates held a vigil for him on Tuesday night. This is truly sad. I can only imagine, like, being a parent and knowing that your children are children, right? We were doing this. I don't think we were 18. I think we were a little bit younger. But we were doing these things and our parents had no idea what we were doing, right? So it's crazy to be sleeping as a parent, resting. Your child is out there. You're thinking they're at their friend's home. They're chilling, maybe, I don't know, cooking, eating pizza together, playing videos together or something. When they're out playing Ding Dong Dish to go viral on TikTok, only for you to be notified as a parent that your child is deceased now because they were being children and not really thinking about the consequences of the possible consequences or the possible outcome of their decision. Okay, 3 a.m. beating, knocking, slamming into somebody's property, into somebody's door is not the most brilliant. All right, now Butler was being held at Rappahannock Regional Jail on no bond. All right. Now, I do feel like he is going to get charged with something because in commission of a felony, yeah. I don't think he's supposed to have that gun in the first place, or maybe I'm misunderstanding that charge, all right? But he's likely going to get charged with something, but murder, I don't think he should be charged with murder, but definitely want you guys to leave your comments in the comment section below. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below and let me know. Do you feel that this was justified? Do you kind of understand where he was coming from? Would you have done the same thing? Is it your first thought that if you at 3:12, any time after 11 p.m. for me personally, right? I'm calm, my house is quiet, it's quiet in the neighborhood. Is your first thought, if you hear banging, kicking, and punching and slamming against your front door or your garage door, that there's just some teens playing a prank for TikTok? Is that your first thought? No, it's not, right? But you let me know what that had been in a situation. But I definitely feel like I probably would have responded a little bit like this homeowner, and my husband definitely would have, because no. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.